How's it going out there, folks? Welcome back here to a Monday night. It is the Earthmaster out here, about 10:34 p.m. California time. September 30th, 2024 is the date. Latest activity shows some movement here across the New Zealand area with a 4.9 earthquake being reported by the EMSC. 4.6 here on the USGS map, right around the Wellington area, Cook Strait region of New Zealand. About 12 miles deep here into the area. Aside from that, let's see what else we got down there. Not a whole lot of newer quake activity out here across this area. So 4.9 coming in. Let's go check out the GeoNet servers here real quick and see what they're reporting. They're actually reporting this as a 5.0. Looks like that was felt over the area. Well over 11,000 reports here coming in from the area of North and South Island, New Zealand, all feeling this earthquake. Now, relatively shallow earthquake, so of course it's going to be felt over a broader area. And of course, Wellington region, a populated area. Looks like mainly some moderate to strong shaking being reported from this earthquake there. We do see a little bit of earthquake activity here on occasion within this region of the Cook Strait area, but it's been a little while. So let's check out the earthquake drums here across New Zealand, and I'm sure we're going to see that 5-pointer fairly nicely. That's actually the signal across many of the seismograph stations here, showing up fairly strongly on Wellington area. And prior to that, not a whole lot going on there across New Zealand, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Looks like things are starting to adjust down here across the plate boundary. And of course, New Zealand has the potential for seeing some larger quake movement. 5.3 into the Puerto Rico or the Puerto Chile area, the Peru-Chile Trench here, now about 19 miles deep here into this area. One of the latest quakes here coming in as well. Throughout the day today, it's been relatively quiet. 5-pointer over here across Papua New Guinea. We started off today with some earthquake activity up here across the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench with a 5.9 and a couple other 4s in the area since then. Alaska, not a whole lot going on up there for now. Through the Pacific Northwest, still seeing some movement around the Seattle area, right on the Seattle fault zone, and also a little area up north here near the Port Ludlow area. So kind of keeping an eye on that region. Mount St. Helens seeing a small amount of earthquake activity out here. Nothing big, just some very small microquakes from yesterday. Nothing going on in Northern California. Fairly quiet for the Bay Area and extreme Southern California out here. I don't think we got anything above 2.5. Nothing at all. Today's been a little on the quiet side after some elevated activity there yesterday across various areas of California, Southern California, that is. Let's see here, 2.1 from today off of the Malibu area, well off the Malibu area, but this has been a region of interest here with a couple different earthquake events out here in the last 7 days. So just kind of watching this area. Movement across Southern California in general is, well, I'm noticing a little bit more uptick here across this area of land in between the Garlock Fault Shear Zone and the plate boundary here, the San Andreas Fault. This little area here around the Palmdale region and the Mojave area, seeing a little bit of microquake activity uptick. Nothing big, but definitely seeing that show up there today. The San Andreas Fault sleeps for now, right? We want the, well, I mean, eventually it's going to wake up, and it's going to be a big one when it does here, so we'll continue to keep an eye on it. Through the rest of the area up here across the region of Idaho and Montana, mainly smaller microquakes out there. Nothing really going on across Yellowstone. I'll do a real quick glance here at the YMC station here from the University of Utah. Not a whole lot of earthquake activity showing up there. That's going to be the 5.9, I believe, from earlier this morning across the Pacific there in the Kuril-Kamchatka, showing up on the Yellowstone station. Aside from that, general very small microquake activity there, but it's pretty quiet, folks. Not a whole lot going on through Yellowstone, and that's a good thing. Areas of the oil fields out here getting hit once again, and one earthquake out in the New Jersey area, 1.6 from super early this morning here. So right now it looks like a little bit of adjustment happening here on the southern end, south of the equator out here. New Zealand and Chile getting hit. Hawaii, we got a little bit of movement out here across the area. Pahala, a little swarm going on into the deeper areas of the magma regions. Magma plumbing system down there, that is. Not a whole lot across Kilauea volcano, just mainly small microquakes up there for now. Let's see what else is going on out here, folks. It looks like things are starting to get set into motion here. Earlier today, it was absolutely quiet. Aside from this movement here up on the northwestern edge of the Pacific Plate, we had seen fairly quiet conditions out here. There is a little bit of movement down south here in the Baja California area, some threes stirring up, and the Middle America Trench. A lot of older quake activity there from yesterday, so not a whole lot of newer stuff there. Newer activity definitely taking place here across the Chile area, so we'll just kind of watch and see how this plays out tonight. Space weather activity had a fairly decent M flare earlier, a long duration M7.6 flare. Now that is off of a sunspot that is currently facing the Earth. That's going to be from 3842. Potentially may have thrown off a CME, a coronal mass ejection there from this area. If so, that could be geo-effective here in the coming days in terms of the aurora forecast. We'll have to wait for the update from the Space Weather Prediction Center in terms of whether that produced a CME or not. Either way, fairly strong flare. And looking at the magnetogram image here, does show a little bit of complexity within that sunspot core area here. And that's not super duper complex here, but there is some close proximity of the magnetic structure within that sunspot area. So keep an eye on that. Also, recently had another far side explosion out there, long duration event from a sunspot that is just barely cresting the eastern limb there, the northeastern limb. Now, probably get a little bit better view of it tomorrow. This is going to be that far side explosion right here from that area on the northeastern side of the sun, behind the edge of it right here. So let me see if I can show you guys the far side watch, 9:30. So this is fairly recent. It's going to be this area right here, inching closer to the eastern limb. Now that's a region that's been thrown off a couple large events here in the last couple days. So, but once it gets into view here, we'll get a little bit better perspective of whether we're going to see an elevated uptick out here in terms of the space weather. There's the sun out there being eclipsed, and spacecraft got a view here. I believe that's the Earth eclipsing the sun from the spacecraft view. Happens every 24 hours here, as you can see on the data, but we're coming back from that right now. It's actually a pretty neat little view. All right, nothing major in the aurora forecast here for now, folks, but we'll see what happens here as the data gets reviewed. Let's chat about hurricane activity out here. Oh man, I don't even want to talk about the weather out here in California. It's brutal in terms of heat wave. Still a little uncertainty onto tropical development down there in the Gulf of Mexico as we enter into October. There's a lot of moisture down here, but not a whole lot of well-defined development in terms of tropical systems, but we're going to have to watch that. It is about a week out, and the models have been consistent about something down here in the Gulf of Mexico, but so far has yet to come to agreement in terms of how strong and location. But we'll continue to watch that. These folks don't need any more precipitation down there, so we'll definitely keep checking on that. California, that'd be nice if we got a little bit of rain. I got my fingers crossed. We'll see what happens here. Ooh, that's even better. That's almost like an early Christmas gift for me right here. Look at that. Well, again, that's on the 15th of October, 2 weeks away, so that could change. But that would be an absolutely beautiful event. That would make me very, very happy. We need some rain and we need some cooler temperatures out here. All right, what else here, folks? I think that's about it here. We'll keep an eye, of course, on California. It's, you know, looking normal right now in terms of daily earthquake activity, but, we go through these little quiet spells and then things start to kick up out here again. I don't think we're done seeing the potential for some larger quake activity out here. I feel it's coming up. Just need an event or two very close nearby to trigger this. And I don't want it to happen, but eventually, we can't keep pushing it off. It's going to happen. And these elevated events that we've seen here in the last few weeks of numerous swarming areas all around Southern California is just a sign there of the ever increasing strain out here against the plate boundary, and it may not be able to handle much longer. So just be on guard and stay safe out there. Seismograph stations look pretty quiet for now. Not a whole lot going on there across the board. You guys have yourself a good night. We'll catch you guys back out here sometime tomorrow morning for the Tuesday morning update. Take care, folks. Have a good night.